That wasn't the right one either.
What's up? What's up?
What the hell was that?
We trying, people.
Hold on.
Hello.
Y'all.
You just clicking all types of wrong stuff. See, should listen to me. Welcome to AWAGBT, their podcast. You can be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. Hey, y'all.
Woo. That's a good laugh. They're gonna be like, what are y'all laughing about?
Okay,
Inside
in the
joke.
building, we got Eric E. Money. What up?
Scoop,
we got
scoop.
No Chisel Josh and Mr. Eli.
What is good, everybody?
Doing? How are y'all doing?
Whew.
We just came in all dry. What did you just do, Eric?
I know, okay. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
What did I do?
Go ahead. Everybody go to the video. Go to YouTube. Look at the video
later.
of this.
I don't even know what I did.
Let's just say Eric was feeling himself.
What did I
Eric,
do?
you did like this.
Oh, I did that?
Yeah, you sure did. You sure did.
Oh my God.
Not the same as sanctified one being unholy.
I didn't do nothing. I think y'all.
Oh my God. Let me call HR.
Drops.
HR.
I think y'all.
We're uncomfortable from the jump, y'all.
Hold on. I think y'all.
Eric, I'm a little scared to ask you exactly how you doing this evening.
We know how you doing. You feeling good.
Y'all not gonna do this to me because I didn't even do nothing.
You did. Well, I can't wait to roll this back. I can't wait to roll this back.
Well, I was probably like this.
And you did like this.
Wakanda forever. No.
Hush, you didn't even hear that. Not trees.
That's exactly what you did.
Doing the milking.
Yup.
Anyways, why are we here? What's up? What's everybody doing? Forget
it's
what I did.
It's the end of the Survivor. Thank y'all for coming. We'll see y'all for
next season.
Our next season. Good night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Oh Lord! But seriously, tonight was the Survivor 44 finale, and I think this is the moment we've all been waiting for. This was a really great season. It was thorough from the beginning, middle to end, and I think it had a worthy conclusion. What do y'all think?
Go ahead, Eli.
It's worthy, but it also feels incomplete to me. Like something feels missing with the ending. I'm not upset at it, but it's also like, I don't know.
It kind of felt underwhelming, huh?
Yeah, the ending was so abrupt. I know when I was watching it, I was so excited for for Jeff to read the final votes. And for some reason, that went by in like 10 seconds. I'm like, oh, it's over. And Jam.
Right. I'm always like, hurry up and get the vote out. And the one time where he like, yeah. All right. I'm like, oh, okay. We're not doing the drag out today. Okay. It did seem like it moved quick.
Oh, man. That's hilarious, actually. But I would agree with that, Eli, that you mentioned it. Sorry, I have a little cough drop because I have a little cold. But I was thinking too, like he's a good winner. I think he's a deserving winner. But as it concluded, I was just kind of like, this was great, but what's next? Or is there something left? Like,
I feel like that's because how they built this season. It felt like it was like a narrative. You had the beginning, and it was pretty much the book of Carolyn, and maybe this is the reason why. But it felt like we were following Carolyn the whole journey.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, it's like, what was the build up for?
Anticlimactic.
Because she was zero. They was trying to show us that she wasn't gonna get no votes. Is what
that means. Who's she like? She's like Owen. She's like, who's other one
Xander,
vote?
Romeo.
Carolyn could be the Romeo of this season,
which is crazy because Heidi was the Romeo of the season. In reality, Heidi was the Xander of the season.
Should have been, huh?
Heidi was the Owen of the season.
See, I think what it came down to is like, was the rest of the cast just that boring, or was Carolyn just that much more entertaining? Is what I want to know. Because when it comes down to, y'all did all of that, and they made it seem like it's gonna come down to like Carolyn and who else. It seems like the show was gonna end on who is Carolyn gonna win, and is it gonna be close? Like if she didn't, I would have thought it would have been like a very, very close, like up to the last vote.
I thought we were gonna get a tie vote situation.
That would have been so interesting.
Now
they should have brought the jury to make it a tie.
Honestly, and we'll get into why we feel like it could have potentially have been a tie, if we would have seen that to happen. But to start us off, we're left off with the final 5, right? Jamie is gone. She has made herself a part of the jury. We're down to the final 5. And so everybody's wondering, like, Heidi, your idol, when'd you find it? Oh, I found it by the bird cage in the tree, da 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 da, X, Y, and Z. And everybody's like, oh, well, we know there's an idol somewhere on the island. So the idol search commences and everybody's tearing up and down the island trying to find this advantage. They looking high, they looking low, and they still can't find it. Nobody is finding it. And it looks as if we're going to find somebody who get it because, they always panning over to the tree where it's like they're in plain sight or supposedly. But everybody's missing it. I'm like, okay, who gonna get this thing? It's speculated that Heidi got it. I said, this woman will win another idol. Just give her the game because at this point, she won't go home. And then at another point, I was like, oh my gosh, Lauren can get this darn, idol. Please find it. She doesn't find it. The Tika members don't find it. In the midst of this search, you see Lauren's like, I know I'm in a position that I'm going home if I don't win. So I need to try to break up the Tika 3. And so she's talking. She pulls Yam Yam aside. She's with Heidi. She like, Carson the biggest threat. Can't none of us beat him. They agreeing. They're like, yes, he's super smart. He can speak very well. He's just the top threat in the game. And then it goes to Carson. He's talking. He like, listen, Lauren, she's a threat. She gotta go. We need to take a 3, stick strong, and we just gonna get Lauren up out of here. And then they're sitting down together, Lauren and Carson. And they're like, yeah, I'm the biggest threat. And you're the biggest other threat. I hear my name. You hear your name. And they're like, yeah. And at first I was like, are they going to come together? Like, oh, we're the bigger threats. Why not get somebody else that's not?
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it. But that didn't come to fruition. It just ended us that first half with Lauren telling Carson that I just got to bank on winning this immunity. That's what I got to try to do. So we get to the immunity challenge, and feel free to y'all know to jump in if you got some thoughts to add.
Just jump in.
Please jump in. And so we get to the immunity challenge. I've never seen this challenge. Have they done?
I loved it.
They've done different iterations of it because they've taken bits and pieces from other challenges, like the kind of maze to like untie the keys. That's been an element in it. That kind of was a part of a challenge in and of itself, and then that
key thing. Oh,
yeah, the key thing that's been a part of challenges, and then using a little ball of yarn to like.
I like that.
Yeah, that's been so. I don't know. This seems like a different amalgamation of different challenges all together in one.
Yeah.
If they're gonna shake things up, if they're gonna kind of recycle stuff, at least kind of like recycle.
Truly,
zhuzh it up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the kind of vibe I was getting. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say, like, only thing that might have made it funner is it seemed like it was so easy to go from 1, 2, and 3. If those were like better hidden, where I don't know, it almost just seemed like they all knew where the first knot or the first key or whatever they had to get was, and then where the second one was. Like,
well, Jeff was out there yelling directions. Like 1 is down low, 2 is up high, 3 is in the middle.
Like let them climb to the wrong area and be like, oh man, I went to 3 first. Like,
once again, Jeff running his mouth, messing up the game, interfering with the game. Who knows? Would we have got a different possibility, like a outcome? Who knows? I doubt it, but you never know.
All I know is Carolyn was never winning that, unfortunately.
No.
On a side note, I really wish they bring back those very large maze competitions.
Oh my God, the maze. Yes.
Yeah, because that's always been one of the staples of like something near the finale during the old 39-day seasons is like those big elaborate mazes, whether they're blindfolded or if they're not blindfolded. Still, they was giving me teasers of that, and as you were talking about not knowing the way, I was like, dang, I kind of missed that challenge. Bring that back from 45, Jeff. Jeff
Yeah, the
and I
maze
know
was
y'all
really
listening.
cool.
Shoot, if we start our wish list for 45, let me add, we need some competitions where people are actually fighting during the actual team portion. Like,
Oh
I
my
need
God.
to see people in the water fighting to
all them
gosh
physical
dang.
challenges.
What's the mud challenge where they push each other into the mud? Which one is that?
Oh, I know that. But here's the thing about those. It's harder to do that with the 3 tribe format because those are usually like one-on-one battles.
And you know what? I got a simple answer for you. Let's make it 2 tries for a season because we've had 3 tries for so long. Let's change it up. It's so formulaic a little bit.
I get you, but like I completely agree. But it seems like in this new era of Survivor, they're only doing the 3 tribes, minimal swapping because the 26 days. It's an accelerated game, but I don't know. It's slightly not hitting like it used to, but it's hitting different. In some ways, it's better. Some ways, it's not.
No, I did hear a rumor that they are going back to 2 tribes, but we'll see.
But it seems like with still specifically in the preview saying they have 18 people.
Yeah,
like the last 4 seasons have had. They might start out with 3. If they start with 3 and then go down to 2, I ain't mad at it.
Right.
Slightly, if they eventually do have like a tribe swap. That would be nice. Switch things up a little bit. But
yeah. I would like that after 2 people go home, merge them, like switch them up, make them draw rocks and split them up into, because that'd be 16, so 2 teams of 8. I think that'd be.
Yeah.
So we can get that mud challenge, because that was probably one of my favorite challenges to see them fighting each other with that dart, pushing each other in the mud, or the stand challenge where they gotta keep the other person from reaching the bag.
Dislocating shoulders and stuff.
Exactly, we love dislocating the shoulders.
I like the grunt
because look, I feel like old boy would have gone out with a little bit more on if he went out during a challenge. He was going literally head to head with somebody that was going head to head with the dang bamboo.
No facts. At least you be like, well, dang, I got taken out because I got a concussion because I literally smacked into the whatever. Versus you hit a.
That's true.
Hey, you know what? He got off 45. He wasn't gonna win 44.
Listen, I was on Spaces and I said, all I know is he better not flop. He better get over here. He better play the best game he has ever played.
He better at least Final 5. At least. Bruce. Final 5.
Because if he is pre-jury, they will never bring anybody else back. Under no circumstances. So, because they felt like he didn't get to really play the game because he went on day 1. So that's why they did that. But like I said, Bruce, if you're listening, you better have played the game of your life. You better have went back home and studied all 43 seasons and studied them well. Because
if we go and I'm out here saying we should have had Matthew back, because Matthew at least delivered. I know that he left because he was climbing the gosh darn rock.
No, I don't feel bad for him because
I don't either.
Some business he had no business doing.
He was doing stupid stuff,
climbing rocks.
And if you get hurt during the challenge, that's different.
And
yeah, he was playing the game stupidly. Is what he was doing. Play stupid games with stupid prizes. He won a prize on first trip class home.
Josh keep trying to say the same thing.
What you gonna say?
I was gonna say it would be one thing if he was climbing up on that rock, was looking for idols or something. But now he's just up there climbing just to climb, and that's.
But Josh, you know better than I do. Ain't no rock. They ain't never put no idol at the sky top of no mountain like that.
No, not like that. But I said it'd be one thing. I could kind of see because changing things up in here.
That's too dangerous. They would have put a ladder up there for him to get. They would have made footholds inside for you to easily climb up. No, he did that himself.
Right. Yeah, he did to himself ultimately. Like I don't feel bad for him at all.
Yeah. But anyways, back to this little challenge or whatever. So, like Josh said, there was an amalgamation of different challenges that they've had in the past, and I thought it was unique, a mixture. And honestly, it was anybody's game, but it seems like it turned out to be Heidi's, surprisingly, and Carson's game, unsurprisingly. He didn't 3D print this, but he still was doing very well. And it got to the end portion where after they got all 4 of the keys, they untied the knots. They used their little lasso. They got in that cowgirl era, pulled the ladders down, climbed up there, and got to working on the puzzle. And immediately I saw the puzzle. I said, well, we all know who's going to win.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Carson.
This is the one he didn't print, though, huh?
Yeah, he didn't get that one that easily. It was like
but Heidi was up there.
Heidi was coming up. Yeah,
he almost won.
How? When you say almost, what do you mean by almost?
Well, she was like neck and yeah, she was a contender. Like she had a few pieces, but she was just a couple pieces behind him. And then Yam Yam came out of nowhere and he started doing really well on the puzzle as well. He wasn't close to them two, but even then he was kind of in there. But ultimately, Carson did win, although it was spoiled because YouTube TV got a screenshot. You know where how when you look at TV and they have a picture of like what you about to watch, and they got a picture of the final five with Carson with the immunity necklace around his neck. That's so careless and
do better.
Because I don't know if it's on the YouTube end, but I feel like CBS, you should be checking these streaming services that you know are going to be streaming your show and making sure they don't have spoilers like that. Just how like when in season 41 and 42 too, maybe, how they were releasing clips on Twitter and we like, oh, well, dang, you already told us who got the hourglass and who went, because of the stuff they're releasing. So y'all need to tighten up. Somebody tighten up.
Yeah, tell us who the winner for 45 is, though. I just need to know if it's Bruce or not.
Girl, he ain't win that game. I'm sorry. He was already a pre-juror to us anyway from this season. He gonna be a pre-juror.
He better make the final five. I'm gonna be so bad.
I think he'll at least make jury. I feel like
they wouldn't make him back. Yeah. I feel like he is too.
You talk about you feel like they wouldn't bring him back. It ain't up to them. If his tribe vote him out, he out.
Nah, ain't nothing reality no more. They they need him to stay, they will put an idol where it needs to be put.
That's true. That is true.
So they be like, hey, we brought this nigga back. We gotta put him somewhere.
Put an idol in the confessional.
Let's go take a confessional walk so we can do some confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
Off
hey, Bruce,
camera.
don't you gotta pee? No. You sure?
Have you checked around the base of the well recently?
Look, they're gonna be like this. They'll be like, hey, but I'm over here. I know.
But you should be over here.
You filming me? Yes.
I'm over here. Yes, but you should be over here.
I couldn't be on the camera because I'd be cheating for my face. I'd be like, hey, yo.
No facts, because with the advantage, Josh's name is the missing advantage. Like seriously, so Carson wins the immunity, right? So we know Lauren or Heidi, most likely 99.99% is going to be Lauren, and so she knows this.
They're racist.
But before we get to that part, Carson wins this elaborate reward. Not really elaborate, but he wins a reward where he gets to choose. He gets to go to Sanctuary.
Wait, let's talk about it.
And
chocolate cake? Was you about to ask that too?
Yeah, I was literally gonna say give the op like he was presented with chocolate cake and carrot cake, and it was mixed reviews. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, carrot cake!" And Carson's like, "No, I like chocolate. So
neither.
Go ahead, Trace.
Both nasty. Ew. Give me the spaghettis. I'll take the spaghettis.
Period.
But if you gotta eat one, you're going to a function. They got chocolate cake.
It's for immunity. It's for immunity, and it's to get to the finale.
Okay, if I had to eat one, like if that was the only food option, like we got cake, it's chocolate or carrot. I'm eating the carrot.
She hates chocolate.
Hate chocolate.
Too.
I love chocolate mint though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, period. Also,
okay, yeah, we didn't say anything about that.
Oh, Aaron, hush up! It's Pride Month almost.
Not almost. Oh, hey, you know what? While we at it, let me just go ahead and get my thirst out. Since we talking about chocolate, Brandon was looking kind of spicy. You know what I'm saying? He had the little gold chain. Brandon was looking kind of poppy. You know what I'm saying? I said,
oh, holy.
I've seen him in real life at one of the LA parties. I bet he is.
Is he tall?
Yeah.
Ooh,
he was in the NFL. He was in the NFL. He built like an NFL player.
He's a solid 6'3", 6'4". He tall.
He Eli height.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Eli don't look. Never mind.
Don't do him.
I'm a short king. Facts. Hey, they call me the short king. I'm a short king.
Your hand right now is taller than my face.
A nice little short king over here.
I'll never forget when we found out Eli was like a giant. Because we thought he was just a regular sized person. And we were, because he was in his room. Sorry, we just put your business out there. We like, Eli, you tall. Teresa, like, Eli, you tall.
Because he was really close to the top of the door. And I said,
it
was on Zoom, but we was always
now,
sitting.
I know doors, and they ain't no doors that's short like that. So
I had a 6-foot tall door at my house, and so me at 5'7", it just looked tall.
Boy, bye. And I was like, huh? They got 6-foot dogs. You would be bumpy out here, brother.
Eli is a giant. But so he get the spaghetti, and they get to shoot the chocolate.
Cake. Sorry. One thing, just want to say carrot cake far superior. I had to join the carrot cake train.
I love
chocolate cake is only good if you have milk, but it's still not worth it.
This ain't no Oreo cookies. Talking about with milk.
What are you gonna eat it with? It's
like
too
Matilda,
full of chocolate.
like the Matilda cake.
I didn't say fudge. Fudge chocolate is different.
Chocolate is chocolate.
No, it's not. Fudge chocolate is a little bit stronger.
They didn't say what kind
heavier.
of chocolate cake it was.
What they did? It's probably the same. It's probably the same chocolate cake from season 16 that Eric took.
What it is
that Eric had when he went through the auction and stuck his hand in that chocolate cake.
Child, they probably went to the local HEB or Albertsons, wherever they got in Fiji.
In Fiji,
right?
Spent about $8.
And they got one of them little $8 cakes they be having there on the table at Kroger.
They got Outback Steakhouse money no more. They might have some Albertsons money.
Screaming. So for me, I like chocolate cake, but I also recently rediscovered that I do also like carrot cake, because at first I stopped eating it because it made me sick one time back in the day.
I've never had carrot cake,
but as long as it's cream cheese and it got some hot, warm caramel drizzle down on it, I may choose carrot cake.
Indeed,
it did something for you, huh? It did something for you.
Carrot cake be here. It don't taste like carrots. It tastes like regular cake.
I'm gonna have to make it myself. I'm very weird, like my fiance. He'll try to get me to try new stuff, and I'd be like, I don't know. So you like, we'll make it. So if I make it myself, I'd be like, oh, okay. So maybe I'll get a recipe and make it myself and see if I like it. But definitely the caramel, that sounds interesting.
It was really.
That sounds like it'd be good.
It is.
Okay.
So Carson chooses Jam to go to Sanctuary with him, leaving the women to be back at camp. And while they're away and the men are talking about, oh yeah, it's so with Carson was like, it gotta be Lauren. And Jam was like, Carolyn needs to go. She's the threat. She's gonna be able to, she thinks she plays crazy, she plays silly, she plays aloof, she plays like she don't know what she's doing, but she's strategic. She got a plan. The way she did the idol is too incredible. We can't let her get to the end. So they were kind of clashing on that aspect. And it was interesting. I'm like, oh, Carolyn, he still want Carolyn go.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. And so back at camp, the ladies, Lauren, I think she did what she was supposed to do. She was like, I know it's me. And so there's really no need for us to even talk because I'm going home. And they were like, Carolyn was like, why do you think that? She was like, well, of course they're going to vote me. They were talking about it. They've been talking about it. And she was like, yeah, man, what did he say? What has he been talking about? And she's like, oh, he said he was going to write you down. He wanted you out. That's what he told me.
I say, oh, come on, Lauren. She had time.
And so Carolyn was like, if he's going to do that, let's flip this script because I'm tired of him playing in my face. Let's get out Jam. And Heidi was on board. They're like, yes, why not? Because we can't get Carson. Let's get the other dude up out of here. And I'm like, oh my God. Like if the women come together and vote out Jam, this is going to be elite. Like this is going to be dope because nobody would have expected it.
Dang.
And then
I'm glad they didn't do it because Heidi would have won.
I don't know.
Well, wait, then it would have been instead of Heidi.
Do you think Lauren could have beat Heidi in that?
Absolutely.
And Fire Maker?
Yeah.
No, I mean
no.
Carson still would have went out.
She still would have took out Carson.
Oh.
But that's if Lauren didn't win the Final Four immunity. We don't know how she would have did.
Listeners, Eric just wants his prediction from last week to be right.
Absolutely.
And he went 0 for 5 last week. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to speak it into existence.
That's
not what happened.
I think she would have won because she had the social game because everybody was threatened by her. She was a threat. Mm-hmm. Whenever she was a threat, she would win. And if she pulled off this move with convincing them to take out Jam, she won the game. That would have won the game for her all along. And she knows how to articulate what she's thinking and saying. unlike the other two people. And they wouldn't have been able to be like, well, did you really do that? I'm like, well, sis, you didn't play the game with me, so you don't really know what I did. But that's neither here nor there, because when the men come back, the ladies were acting a little weird, and they kind of picked up on it, and Jam Jam kind of was like, I feel like something is up. Carson's like, yeah, Lauren hasn't spoken to me, and I'm the one immunity. I feel like if I'm on the chopping block, she would be coming to me. And so they're like, what do you think they're playing or something? He's like, well, the only option is me, is what Jam Jam said. And so we need to try to speak to Lauren and get her to feel comfortable and act like we're going to do Carolyn. So she does that, but we still take her out. So Jam Jam goes and he's talking to Lauren, and he was like, so were y'all talking about me? And she's like, yeah, we were. Yep, it was. Yep, sure did. And he was like, so what about it? Can we switch that up? She's like, yeah, I'm open to it. And so he's like, let's do Carolyn. Me and Carson is on board. And so he's trying to feed her all of this. And she's like, at this point, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to trust, because what I know is they may bicker, they may argue, but who's to stop them from coming back together? She's like, because I know me and my sister argue all the time, but we know we got each other's back at the end of the day, because that's what family does. And I know that Carson, Jam Jam, and Carolyn are all like a little family, so they can have these arguments and bickers and falling out, but still always vote together, which they have previously done throughout this entire season. And so she was like, I gotta take matters in my own hands. I gotta find this idol if I want to stay, otherwise I'm gone. And they gave her this beautiful story. I'm like, oh my gosh, she by the tree where it's at. She get ready to find it. She ain't find it.
Nope.
And we go to...
all she found was some sticker bugs.
I'm so happy they didn't throw an idol in that final 5.
It was
crazy.
It was.
It was?
That's
It,
what
it didn't look like an idol, but it was definitely some sort of...
Oh, it was something they didn't... You didn't see that.
It was an idol. It was the idol. Y'all,
well, we don't know
then
what
I'm
it was.
pissed at CBS. Why would
they
they
told us it was an idol?
Literally, Jeff,
I figured it'd be like in some kind of advantage.
On the podcast, because somebody did the transcription or whatever from his podcast, and he was like, there is an idol. That was confirmed. It's on the island.
Yeah, they did have it wrapped up in a bowl.
They just didn't find
Lauren was right there by it. Lauren and Yang Man was right there by it.
Exactly.
Then I'm mad at all parties, because one, how do you not find an idol when it's just 5 people? You have nothing else to do.
Maybe I would have been looking at up $1 million.
Exactly.
No naps.
I'd be like, I ain't got no time to discuss. Let me go find this idol. What? Y'all gonna vote me? I was at, forget the plan to vote Yin. Let me go find this idol. Let me go find my own plan.
It was a great plan, though. And it would have worked if it hadn't been for these meddling kids or these meddling women. So we just go to try. Y'all got any other thoughts? Because I'm going to get to it.
Women.
I'm going to get to it.
Not
y'all got any other thoughts before I get to the tribal council?
All right, calm down, Danny.
Screaming. No, I just got thoughts. I'm just going to say. Anything else?
What's your thought?
Okay, so we get to tribal council. Obviously, Carson is safe. Lauren immediately goes in. She's like, well, Jeff, I already know it's me. If I didn't win, I didn't find nothing, I know it's going to be me. And I know I'm pretty much the vote tonight. And he was like, so you've kind of just resigned your fate. And he was like, so did you talk to anybody? Shit, no, I didn't talk to anybody. And here go Carolyn and Heidi. Huh? So we didn't talk? No names were mentioned?
No.
Like, it was like, I thought we had a plan, and this is really disappointing, Lauren, because we thought we were going.
Please, y'all's gonna put her out. Shut up.
It wasn't even that. So even if they were gonna do Jam Jam at that point, why would she openly admit to them right there that she was having conversations?
Exactly.
She was still on with the plan. Yeah.
She was on with the plan. That's what I'm saying. They weren't clicking.
They don't know how to play stupid. They did not play dumb at all. They said, "Oh, wait, shut up. You're disrespecting us." No, we literally want to try to blindside Jam Jam.
We're playing the game because you don't want them to switch up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why? I don't understand why it didn't click for them. But I do, because it's like I don't want to say it's like a cultural disconnect, because that was almost the first thing. Because I'm like, I know if you sit there, you be like, if I would have been like, if Lauren would have said, I didn't talk to nobody, I'd be like, show did. I ain't talked to her. I ain't heard nothing.
I would have been like, and then when she kept going, I'd be like, oh, okay, I see what she doing.
Right. So
I ain't talked to her.
Exactly. So I don't understand why they just didn't
pick up on those.
Why did they get so offended? There we go. I felt they got so offended, and they started like, no, you didn't. And
Carolyn, her face was all turned up too. She was like,
yeah.
And they blasted.
She got mad at Jeff.
What? Child, it was just, and then they were like, it could be a ruse. Is this some elaborate ruse? Did Lauren find something? Did she find it? And she just playing it up and playing it up.
No,
and
nigga, I was going through the plan.
go with the plan, right? So I really want to get them on here because I really want to know, like, were y'all really going to vote Jam Jam? And if so, her saying that, did that really change y'all's minds because y'all weren't on the same page with that? Like, you didn't follow through with that?
It's still so crazy that all those men's went home and a man still won this season. Oh, I just had to read it.
It started with only women going home. Mm-hmm. Then it went to only men going home. Yep. And the men's done pulled it out.
Still pulled it out. And so, unfortunately, funny enough, Jeff would get ready to read the votes. And she said, Laura says, Jeff. And everybody's like, oh my God.
Said, wait a minute.
I was about to say, my girl got it. She got it. She's like, I'm just kidding. I was on pins and needles. I was ready for the flashback. But then she's like, I'm just kidding. I told y'all I ain't have nothing.
I was like, damn, Laura, why you play us too?
And unfortunately, Lauren was voted off.
Lauren blindsided.
She did. She blindsided us.
She did. She did go out with a lot of flair.
But she played a really great game. I know a lot of people, we didn't see a lot of her, but from the game that we did see, she did win when she needed to. She was great socially. She did, make the necessary bonds to move her forward in the game. I think she was a great player, and I think she could have won had she made it to the end. So, Lauren, we're giving you your flowers here. You have love and always will have a place here with us.
Yeah.
Next half of the show.
Oh.
Whew, Final Four. I was like, okay, this Final Four, it seems like a given that the Tika will run away with the game. But I also had in the back of my mind going into this final immunity, I was like, watch Miss Heidi win this Final Four immunity.
I feel like I said that. Did I say that? I feel like Heidi gonna win at fire making if she go.
Well, not fire making, Final Four immunity, the immunity challenge. The ball. Remember where they got to put the balls in there?
Oh, yeah, she won. Next.
Catch that. Do y'all have any thoughts on that? Because Heidi did win.
I don't know. We've been seeing.
It was dope comp, though. I like that comp.
Yeah, I just think we've been frequently seeing in more recent seasons that Final Four, the person you least expect to win.
Yeah.
The person we least expected to win was Carolyn.
Yeah, I was about to say,
walking in. Least. Heidi was second though.
Yeah, she's right down there. We probably thought it was going to be either Carson or Yam.
She's right down there.
And I would have bet on either Carson or Yam Yam to win that challenge.
Yeah.
I would. If you told me to bet on Heidi, I'd be like, no.
I knew it. I said something in my spirit. I said, Miss Heidi, she gonna win. But I would, if Carolyn had won, I said who she would have put in fire. Heidi won, obviously, would have immediately been in fire. But who she would have put up against them? Because Carson's her son.
She would have put Carson in there.
I think Carson. No.
Because
she knew she couldn't beat him. She knew she couldn't beat him, though. She did.
I think she would have put Yam Yam.
We'll never know.
It depends on how hurt she was about the vote. She was a little. Well, no, she didn't end up voting him out, so she's probably already forgiven him. So yeah, it would have been Carson, in my opinion.
So it kind of still would have panned out the same way.
Yeah, I think
so. Would she have put herself in? You think?
No.
Not Carolyn. She was.
No, I would never. I'm not.
She was
going
like,
down there.
Me put myself in danger.
I am not making fire with you peasants. No, would not.
I will
never.
say one thing of note from the challenge was here go Jeff with his non-knowing self. Heidi's the only one that hasn't won individual immunity. Carolyn ain't won nothing either.
Well, was she on the team that won when Franny won her the individual?
They don't count individual immunity. They don't count.
Well, she didn't win immunity.
But he said individual immunity.
I don't know. Jeff is getting senile.
Boy's struggling.
We need to tape that and send it to the people. Like, this is prime example. Because how Carolyn, when have you ever put that necklace around her neck specifically?
Never.
When has she even been close to getting the necklace?
When has she even had second place?
Third.
Or third.
Something that
she did have third when there were only 3 teams.
Oh,
shout out to Carolyn, man. I love her. She's the most entertaining loser I've ever seen. She's my favorite loser.
She is the entertaining loser.
She definitely.
They should do that. They should make a season, the most entertaining loser.
That's honestly what this season was.
Look, we need second chance.
You said this what the season was.
This whole season was about Carolyn, and all for her to spoiler get no votes.
That's crazy.
So yes, Heidi wins, and she immediately was like, actually, yeah, I got the negative, but I think I'm going to fire. And Jeff was like, huh? Everybody looking at her crazy. I started looking at her crazy, and my wheels started turning in my mind. Mm-hmm. I said, oh my God. We know Heidi is good at fire making. We saw on episode 1 how she lit that fire so quick.
Yeah, she be like,
I said, she gonna win fire if she go in the fire. And Treese, your voice is in my head from the cast assessment. You was like, Heidi gonna win this game. And I was dreading it. I said, because at this point.
I forgot I said that.
At this point, you did. You called it. You said she's gonna be at the end for sure. I literally
said she was gonna stay, didn't I?
You did. I started visioning. I had a That's So Raven moment. I'm glad it did. You know how you see it. I saw her. I said,
into the future. Let me breathe. We'll travel from the distance. Yeah.
Go, Ray.
Oh no.
I'm trying to change the situation. Man, I end up misbehaving.
Whoa.
They know. This one was right now.
We get copyrighted, people.
Get into it. You gotta finish it.
That's so
It's the picture I
can see. The whole theme song.
Okay. We back.
That's me.
So, right. Okay. So I'm looking right here. I'm in my bed, and I'm looking at Heidi. I'm looking at the possibility. I said, because this is a scenario that nobody has ever even thought to even try to predict. Mm-hmm. Heidi doing fire making. We know she wants to take out the biggest. If she does it, you have to go big or go home. We know Carson is the big man. He's the king of the castle in this game. Mm-hmm. She takes him out because he shows us that he can't do fire. If he can't 3D print, if he can't puzzle it, he can't win. Them
puzzles. Can we talk about the Jam helping Carson?
Oh, we're gonna get to it.
All right.
So let me finish my vision.
Be me.
So my vision, I'm looking at. I said she wins. The jury sees that she risked this immunity, took out the biggest threat in the game, and she wins this game.
The Chris Underwood victory.
I would absolutely. My mind would be blown. Like we would all be sitting here shocked, stone faced, unbelievable. But it didn't happen.
I would have called it stupid. I'd be like, you stupid.
It did not happen. It did not happen in the way that we thought because
I thought they was gonna give it to him.
Eli just said, Carson, he could not make fire. So Jam was good because Heidi got back to camp. I'll give her some respect. She said, so who want to go? Who want to do it? Who want to volunteer? Who want to do it? Make this easy for me. And they lied because they were like, oh, we were all ready to make it. No, y'all did not step up and say nothing. Y'all was all into the way.
I would have said, not me. But they said
I heard Carson say he was itching to make fire.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all make it.
I was Carson. I was like, well, they both say they good. So
shoot, I would have laid down.
Get out my get out of the fire making pet car. I would have done that.
Baby, I would have grabbed my little leaves and laid over and went to bed.
No, for real. And so he's struggling. Carson, he over in this little corner. He gave me, you know how when Squidward's in that box and he was there's pain. That's how Carson was. He found himself a little nook under the forest in this little thing by himself crying because he can't make the fire. And here come Jam. Oh, you know, cuddly, lovable Jam. He's like, Carson, he's my friend, and he can't make fire, and so I have to help him because I don't want to see him struggle. I don't want him to get up there.
No,
he basically, I don't want him to get up there and be embarrassing himself.
Embarrassed, you will be.
I said he better than me because if I see my competitor, I don't care if you're my friend in this game. If anybody, I see you can't make fire. It's only 1 million,
not 2.
And I see somebody that can't make fire. I said, "Oh, that's good for you, baby." Because I don't care.
Have fun down there.
Have fun and fire. And if I see you there, I just have to beat you.
Listen.
So I thought that it was very kind and very altruistic of Jam Jam, but I thought it was a very dumb move strategically because he did mention, he said, now if I didn't taught him how to make this fire and I end up going against him and he beat me.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Exactly. So dumb. Why would you even think
can
about
do fire good though.
He can. Him and Carolyn was cracking up, arguing about whose fire was the best. He was like, well, mine's been here longer. She said, mine's been here too. He said, but mine's been here longer. She's like, well, mine's on incline. Mine's on incline too, Carolyn. And they were just going back.
They are really like brother and sister, bro. They really are.
They really are. So Heidi gets back and she's seeing that everybody can pretty much make fire, but I don't know about Carson. He wasn't the Eagle Scouts or something. So I don't know if he's good at. I said, girl, if you miss out on the opportunity to win this game, because Davey said something very important. He was like, making fire and winning fire should not guarantee you a win in this game, but knowing when you have to make fire and going for it is a great game move. And Heidi, knowing she needed to, like, because she ain't got her resume empty, it needs to be dusted off because ain't nothing on there, and so she knew she needed
nothing on there.
Hold on, my queen. She voted against Danny that one time.
That's all. What did that do?
He ain't even go home. He didn't go home, but she still tried.
She got points for our resume. We gave her resume points for that.
You gave her your name back for that.
I gave her name back for that. There we go.
Well, that's all that accomplished. How that helped her win $1 million?
It did it.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and then she played the idol on herself.
When she didn't need to.
She got like what? No votes? Did she get?
That was a good move, y'all. Resume builder right there.
She could have changed the game. Just imagine if she would have kept the idol and had some good sense enough to not say nothing and then use it for Lauren to save Lauren.
Damn out of here. That's a winning move.
And then you take out Carson.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Carson was safe. Oh, and then took him out and fire. Yeah.
Now my back would have set up straight. I still think Lauren would have beat her or Carolyn.
You're completely wrong. Gosh dang, Heidi would be the next Sandra, like she said preseason.
That's true. Like I said, I'm gonna always vote for Lauren in any situation, but my back would have set up a little straighter for Heidi. I'd be like, I'm gonna give you some points because you say my girl. But that would have been nice to see.
Yeah, because the thing about the misconception about putting yourself in the fire is like when it comes back to the Chris Underwood thing, like he was playing the game hard. Once he finally came back from the edge, he was playing the game hard. So he had to play a perfect game, and he still managed to find an idol and he went and made a move before the fire making thing to take out the big threat. You can't just take out the big threat and that's the only thing you have on your resume.
Right.
So if Heidi had done something, if she had done that and saved the idol and then do that, and if she won, I wouldn't have, cussed her out as much.
Right.
Because like it's more than one thing on your resume that's like, whoa.
It's kind of
a season. Sorry, let me finish. Like it's not necessarily this isn't a season like big resume things, but like if she had that on her resume, it would have made her stand out a lot more.
Agreed. And it's kind of akin, and I think we've mentioned it a little bit before. It's like in Big Brother. If you wait to the final three to take out the biggest threat and that's your only move, do you really deserve to win the game? No, not really. Unless you have a couple other things to add to your resume. So like Josh mentioned, she would have did a couple other things, with that, she did something fancy with it and got tricky with it. Plus the fire making. Okay, sis, you might get this game. But that didn't happen. She did go in there final four to I still don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't made up my mind. She put Carson. She said, well, she gave Carolyn safety first. She said, I'm gonna bless and bestow Carolyn up with the final three. And then she said, but yeah, Carson, you are the first person I'm going to fight you. It is you, Carson. So get ready. Basically, like I want you to be prepared because he was like, I'm so nervous. He was shaking. Carson was shaking because he knew he
3D print.
Can't get
baby. 3D printer can't save you now.
He was scared. I felt bad for every time when Carson is actually scared. I be feeling bad because he be really scared.
Yeah, he be shook.
He get those. He reminded me of
the shakes.
What's that chipmunk name? Theodore.
Alvin?
Oh. No, he give me
Alvin,
Theodore.
the main one.
Yeah, Alvin. Alvin Hard. It's that Theodore. He be really Simon because he got the
not Alvin Hard. Alvin a real nigga.
Alvin the gangster. So he giving the puppy dog like Theodore, but then he got the glasses, so he's also giving Simon too. And so he was really shook. But then she's like, and I'm gonna put myself in there. I'm gonna put myself in fire. Everybody's shocked, everybody's blown away. And so Jeff like, get to it, cut to it. And I think I just looked up and looked down. She about won that thing just that quick because she got to putting that fire in there. I said she summoned the spirit of Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender and started. See, for our viewers, Eli just showed us a picture of Alvin the Chipmunk. He got the chain.
He got the chain.
Lord have mercy.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. And so she summoned the spirit of Azula and she started making it. That fire started pop, 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 pop. And she whooped Carson's behind like I knew she would. Although I will give him some credit, he did get a fire going, and it was a decent fire. But her fire was long gone and shot to the sky before his could even.
At least you tried.
At least you tried.
You know what I mean? On The Simpsons, that little cake, you lost.
Yes.
But look, I feel like other seasons, like it wasn't like Carson did terrible. Like knowing that
terrible.
Heidi like broke the record of fastest fire.
Yeah, Heidi just bossed up. She ate.
She ate.
Yeah,
I knew it too because we saw her make fire like that again. Going back to episode 1, I said, now why they showing her make fire like that?
That's exactly why they showed it because I knew she was gonna make it in the end.
And they kept showing Carson with the fire in his glasses. I was like, oh yeah, he gonna lose that fire.
Did
by Heidi's hand.
Yeah, his glasses?
He had a few like shots where he was like staring into the fire or like there was fire in his glasses.
Oh, you nosy. I ain't get shit.
Eric really peeped that. That's crazy.
I be trying, shoot. I be trying.
Gotta watch that for next season.
Eric done out nosied me. I thought I was superior nosy.
Listen, I got these glasses for some shoot. They better be working.
Now. Come on, spectacles.
And so she takes him out, and Carson's actually enthused. He literally said, "I'm glad I got taken out by the person who made history with the fastest fire making." He's such a good sport. Like I think that's why he was a great phenomenal player. I would have been a sore loser because I wouldn't have been able to make the fire.
Right.
At all.
I don't care. You be making fire every day. I got a real job.
Look
like
me.
I would have been saying stuff.
Look, you a mama. You better know how to make fire because you got to provide for kids. Because what if the heat go out? You got to be out there in the backyard making some fire so you can cook for your kids. So yeah, you know how to make fire. Yes. Absolutely. So, but he was a great sport about it. Carson, you played a phenomenal game. You were strategic. You were social. You won a couple immunity challenges, and you were mastermind. You literally played all sorts of the game. Like you did outwit, you did outlast a lot of people, and you did outplay the entire cast. You just didn't make fire. And I mean, you didn't win the fire, unfortunately.
Did good enough to, you know what? Get a lot of people to probably buy his merch.
They was buying.
I'm about to be next in line to buy his merch. Yeah.
So he definitely deserves his merch to be bought. Absolutely, 100%. And he played a game worthy of return. If they have to bring some returnees, he should be one of the very first people that they call. Now he is going to have to switch up his game, and we can talk about that if we want to get into if people were to return and all that. But well done, Carson. Well done. And kudos to you, Heidi, because you did something that nobody's done before in terms of breaking that record. So good for you. Good for you. And she's the first woman to beat a man in fire making too. That's what was said. So also add that to your belt. That's awesome. And so going into this final 3, what were y'all thoughts?
I was thinking at this point, last episode, I predicted this exact path. Lauren to go at 5, Carson go at 4. And I'm just like, if Carolyn can sell it to the jury,
yep,
it's hers. Because in the final 3, none of them drove the game. No one really has a move where I'm like, wow, they did great. So it was completely up in the air, though. I'm not gonna lie. I was buying the edit the whole season. I'm like, Carolyn's gonna crush this final tribal, and she's gonna get the win. That was my thoughts.
What about you, Josh?
Well, going into it, I was just trying to gauge what now they give the jury confessionals right before final tribal council,
which I love, by the way. I'm glad they brought those back.
Yes. Like Survivor. That's a good thing.
Keep that.
Because then they didn't do it last season, right? Didn't they take it out last season?
No, last season was the first time they did it.
No, they did it in 42. They did it in 42.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, then they did it last season then too.
Oh, I missed it.
Well, 43
Did we really watch 43? Was that really a real season?
We
Maybe that's
half-assed watched last season.
Maybe that's why I missed it.
Yeah, we did the season to skip through it. But yeah,
Yep.
that of Survivor, that's still a good thing.
Yes.
Do more good things.
Absolutely.
Like that. But like gauging like that, I'm just like, I was kind of like Eli. I feel like it's kind of up in the air. Because even then, I was like watching the episode with Eli, and I'm just like, does Heidi now actually have a chance to win this game?
I was scared.
Because
I was like, oh my God.
You're the king, you become the king. So I'm just like,
because I joked. I'm like, oh, last episode, I was like, oh my gosh, watch Heidi win. Oh, I love this. So bad. Please be
I
wrong.
came into this with my little
Please be
name
wrong,
as pick a Mia's win. I just knew she was gonna win. She was gonna crush it.
And then too, I started thinking about the edit for the finale episode. How everybody let somebody say something, and Heidi was just like a or yeah, and everybody else happy to be here, and everybody else had like this long thing of why they fighting to be here. I was like, oh my gosh, did they do this because the girl won?
I wanted to talk about that.
Go ahead.
Is it just me? Okay, I get, how you trying to appeal to the jury on why you should vote for me and all this other stuff. But it's like, everybody gonna have a sob story. We already know your sob story. You already talked about the struggles and stuff you've overcome. We already know that. Tell me what you did in the game. Save that struggle shit. I'm sorry, I'm upset. Save that struggle stuff for the what's it called? The reunion. Okay. What did you do in the game? If you saying all this, well, I had to fight. I didn't. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. We already know your struggle. Game. You only have a certain amount of time to tell me why I should vote for you, and you used your time to tell me what you did when you were 7. I don't care.
No sense.
I broke my arm when I was 12, and that gave me the resilience. I knew I was gonna have to fight in this game.
Don't care.
And once again, that's good for you, baby.
That's not good for you, baby. Next. Yeah. I felt like they were laying that on thick, and I'm like, I think they be trying to do that to tug on jury's emotional heartstring, their little strings, and I don't care.
Yeah, well, there's a certain way to do it. Like when Carolyn asked, I guess we go ahead and jump into final tribal council.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
It's like when Carolyn got asked a question about her emotions, and she talked about her story about recovering.
That answer was warranted.
Because it directly that's something significant that actually involves the game and how she's now going and just processing her emotions. One something I relate with too, even though I don't have an addiction or anything, but just like owning your emotions and not being afraid to show them. Yes. Like I relate with that. Like that's something that would resonate with me as a jury member. It's like, wow, I get that. She came out here, she said she's gonna be herself, and she did that. And
you know what?
Play the game too.
I have 2 thoughts on that. One, Franny definitely tried to set her up for this win with that question.
She tried her best. Franny directed every question to be so pro Carolyn, and Carolyn fumbled.
And she focused so much on the emotional side, which I think was beautiful. Like y'all mentioned, that was great. But she failed to connect it to how she used that in the game on the strategic level and how she balanced that with being strategic.
If that was America's favorite, she would have won.
Carolyn.
She gets the money from Sia.
Oh yeah.
If she don't get the money from Sia, then Sia tripping. She better.
Look, she better give all my faves some money. Okay.
Listen.
She definitely given Manny a check. She definitely given.
How many checks do she give out? She just give out how many she wants.
She only give out about three or 4 people. Use about 3.
Oh.
Okay, so
Carolyn. I'm sorry to tell you, Lauren's not getting a check.
Lauren's not getting a check.
Lauren's not getting a check.
She's not getting a check.
She's getting our love. She's getting our love.
She's not getting a check.
Begin to check.
I don't think Lauren got enough TV time to get a check. I only like Lauren because she's from Texas and she black.
Realistically, probably gonna be Carolyn, Baby Carson, and maybe Franny.
Yeah.
Then the people I see money.
And honestly, if I had to think, mine is Franny because I'm biased. It would have been Carson, Carolyn, for Lauren if it was me. If it was my check. If it was my money. Right. If it was my tax write-off.
Right. Not our 3 faves the whole season.
Yes. And I'm gonna stick beside them.
And I'm gonna stick beside them. And so I was like, oh my gosh, Carolyn, you were right on the cusp of a great win. All that right there, that was her moment to shine and really just lay out everything that she did strategically, and she did not do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and two, I made a comment, and I don't know if y'all picked this up as well. I'm sure y'all did. Why are they complimenting each other, your opponents?
I was yelling.
Weird. This is the most kumbaya cast I've seen. What are y'all doing?
Heidi turned and was like, yes. I forget if she said this to Jam Jam or Carolyn, but she's like, yeah, you've done great. I love you, and you did a good job. Oh, no, you suck. You're not a good person.
Yeah, you were
you
terrible.
You don't need this money. Y'all both millionaires. That's what I'm saying.
They all were like that.
Look, let me tell y'all something. One time I made Final 2 in the game, and one person asked us to say why the other person should win. The other girl wins, explain on my resume. I didn't say nothing.
I don't really have anything, but I do agree with her. That's what I
lost by one vote.
Dang. Because I was like, why would you are fighting for $1 million and you complimenting the enemy? This is the battlefield.
Baby, I would have said
so nonchalant.
She makes nice fire. That's what I would have said.
Well, I think it's because like they didn't play like that much of a cutthroat game.
Yeah,
that wasn't the tone of the season. If the tone of the season was a little bit more kumbaya, yeah, we against each other, but we actually still like each other. Which is like, it wasn't like a completely underwhelming like Final Tribal Council, but it didn't have that like kind of grit that we normally like. That little like their answers didn't have as much bite.
I will say, Jam Jam, he was the one fighting. It almost was like
Jam had great
Jam was talking for. It felt like 75% of the Final Tribal Council.
Yes,
he controlled it, and of course, this is edit. Who knows? They could have been talking for 3 hours, but Jam controlled it, and like no one else checked him. No one else tried to dig into his game at all.
They did, exactly. And on top of that, his answers kept going. He answered their questions. That's what I kept with even with Heidi and Carolyn. They were not answering the questions. They were like, what did you do in the game? What bonds did you build that helped you get further in the game that you got? And you talking about, oh, well, we back in the day did all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what threw me. Yeah, like we don't care. Answer the question.
We started this game, or how did you not? What did you do besides the Tika 3? Like besides Carson, we feel like he was the mastermind. How were you doing this game on your own? And Jam Jam was the only one who was like, oh yeah, like I had my own game. I made moves for myself. Like I talked to each and every one of you.
Everybody, even when Heidi, he said,
he did.
I said, I know that's right, Yam.
Shut her down with the quickness.
And she said, oh, okay.
Yeah, she did.
She really quit.
She shut the hell up, didn't she?
That's when it was over for Heidi. She said, "Oh, okay."
Because you ain't about to tell me to shut up.
I'm about to box you.
Because if I said I made that move, guess what? I made that move.
Indeed.
Because if I didn't show me, pull the tape out. You can't.
Right.
Next.
Because ultimately, I'm not gonna say you can go into Final Tribal and BS, but you're spitting your narrative of what happened in the game. Everyone has their own idea of what happened in the game. Could it be right? Could it be wrong? Who knows? Could Jam Jam have done nothing? He might have done absolutely nothing.
And that leads to my next.
But we don't know.
Bring up the biggest question: how are you perceived in this game, and how do you feel like you're perceived in this game? And show us how you who you really were. And that's exactly it. They could have seen. I don't think nobody really said. They was like, oh yeah, he got a social game earlier in the merge, but nobody was like, Jam Jam is this threat that we got to really get out of this game.
Yeah.
But because he took perception and made it his reality, he made this game. He made the jury see how he wanted them to see this game. So when he talked about the emotion, he was like, yes, he was like, a lot of y'all. He said, I talked to y'all. He said, but a lot of y'all, I'm sorry, y'all had blank faces. Kane, you still got it. But and he said, so when I was building those relationships in order to be safe, he said, I learned to know when y'all were lying, and I used that to my advantage. He said, I learned to when your eyes would twinkle when you talked about stuff you like, and when you was lying, you lost the twinkle in your eye. You changed. You wouldn't look at me. And so I used that, and I was like, you better talk that talk.
And that could be completely BS. Yeah. That could be probably is completely BS.
I would be straight lying. You can't prove that right now.
Look, I ate that up as a communications major. I know communication is 80% nonverbal. So when he said that, I perked up. I was like, oh,
same.
Yeah, they got me.
Okay. I'm not a communications major, and I just said he's lying. He's capping. That's impossible. You can't do it. No,
he is. Jam is a liar and a manipulator. I think we need to roll the tapes back because I said look. What did y'all say? He's a gossiper, a blogger, same thing. He's a hairstylist, same thing. A gossiper.
Yeah, that's a gossiper. I gossip the most when I be getting my hair done.
He's going to be able to use that to manipulate people. I say this is going to get him in trouble, or he's going to use that to manipulate people and run stuff. And he didn't do that in the game, but he used it at Final Tribal Council. He used what people would think is true because he was so sure, that confidence piece. He was confident in what he was saying. He did not stutter. He did not stumble. He believed what he was saying. And when you believe with enough conviction, unless you are able to assess or you really knew what he was doing, Carson's probably the only one that really knew how he was playing the game. You would believe what he was saying because it sounded great. And he always did say, and I got to remember that. And I guess I should have been something to think about going into this Final Tribal. Jam has always said, my weapons are my words. I'm going to use my words to make, what I need happen. And he did exactly that. And I've said it before. If somebody can talk good, they do not need to be at the end of this game. We saw it with Taylor and her speech in Big Brother. Yep. You don't go take nobody like that to the end. You don't let anybody.
Taylor really played a terrible game, but she has one of the best speeches. Listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Taylor absolutely. There's no way she really should have won the game.
Monty Cookter game wise.
Flip this.
She would have had my vote because she spoke so well. Do not bring nobody to the end that can speak, that can convey, and say whatever it is you need to say.
Because they don't even matter if they actually played a good game. If they can convince you that they played a good game, you're gonna look over. You're gonna forget all the backstabbing, the blind sides, the top wins. But that's it. It's gonna hit you in the guttural, and you're gonna be like,
because what did Franny say? The Final Tribal answers swayed our votes because I know full-heartedly they were voting for Carolyn to win this game. I know for a fact that's what they were wanting to do.
Like it.
Because they saw what she was doing in Tribal and how she would talk in Tribal. And they was like, oh my gosh, like this woman is incredible. And they were just waiting for her. And I think Carson was over here cheering. He over here like, come on, Carolyn, go ahead.
He was listening off the well, yeah, that's the second thing. That's the third thing we talked about all this.
Come on, Carolyn. He's like Rudolph, like, come on, Carolyn.
He was trying to get it full.
And we've said it, especially you guys, like, can she articulate if she can do that, she can win this game. And it's all about speaking at the end. Like, people forget about that portion. It's about speaking and conveying what you did. We said it with Mike in season 42. Mike would have beat Marianne. I don't care what nobody says. If he would have owned up to his villain era, he would have beat Marianne. But because he did not own it up and fumbled, like he was stumbling over answers.
Oh my gosh, he might have fumbled worse than Carol. I forgot about Mike's
he really
lack
did
of
fumble.
Final Tribal.
Marianne outspoke his ass.
Ate him up. And Jam did the same with this Final Tribal Council.
Listen, you get a black woman to the end, she's gonna convince you. Yep.
Look, not Carson did his research and was like, okay, Marianne did too good for it, so we're not getting Lauren.
So we gotta get Lauren now. And I bet Lauren, and she's a school teacher. Come on, she would have spoke so well.
She did. She did. Yep. She gave a beautiful soliloquy.
She would have had my vote at the right before the vote. I said, can we just dub? Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And at least she would have at least fought with Jam to get some votes.
Oh, that would have been great to see.
That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Titans clash. That's what I'm missing.
It was an easy dub.
How does Carolyn and Jam bicker so much throughout the season, and then when you need to bicker for the money, all this Final Tribal is
Karen just cheesing like.
Yeah.
I don't think ultimately she was kind of just happy to be there in a way.
Yeah, she was.
And I feel like at that point, it's like she kind of accomplished in a way more than she thought she would. Mm-hmm. So when you're already like you made it to day 26, it's like in her mind, even though she wanted to check too, like who doesn't? I feel like in a way, her making it to final 3, it was her win.
Right. Yeah. It was a win. And that was a beautiful moment. Like when she talked to the casting producer in her confession, she was like, "Wait, I can you believe for my first confessional that I'm here?" He's like, "Yeah, day 26, you made it." He like, did you ever think? She's like, no, I never would have thought that I would have gotten here, let alone made the merge. And
I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that producer or just the director like asking her the questions, I'm like, she won. Editing never does this. She's gonna cook and she's gonna win. It was
too obvious. We really should have.
With that, right before they got to final tribal council, she was like, I'm just nervous because I don't know, do I deserve to win? I'm not feeling confident in myself. And then she's like, you know what? No, I have earned my place here. I was like, okay, she got like Stella got her groove back. Carolyn got her confidence back, baby. She's gonna go in there and she's gonna own it. She's not gonna let anything stop her. And I don't think she let insecurities, anything stop her. I just think, like Josh mentioned, you mentioned, just the fullness of making it there. She was just happy to share her story and not necessarily a game. So she shared a story. That's what she gave us, a beautiful story, and showed who she truly was, her authentic self, but she did not give us her game. And I think that's where.
And we also need to remember that they're fighting for $1 million. If you sat me down with $1 million on the line, I'm forgetting everything I've done. Like, it takes a very special person, which is why we talk about not bringing someone like Jam Jam or someone like Taylor that can speak, right? Because they're used to talking under pressure, providing points under pressure.
Yeah.
Me, I'm crumbling. I can't discuss nothing that I did throughout the game. Gonna be like Heidi. I would have forgotten weeks 1 through 8 and then just said, oh, I made fire over and over again.
Look, that final jury question is a lot more stressful than it looks. You cannot prepare for that moment until you're there. Even though I've done it on a small scale in an org, like imagine doing that on the island. Carolyn, you're still food deprived, you kind of ate that morning, had a mimosa or whatever, and you still like have to go and get your mind right, overlooking the past 26 days and try to convey this over the course of like maybe an hour and a half at tribal council in the middle of Fiji. Like.
And you have to keep. Well, I can't speak about Survivor because I'm being starved, half near to death, and being stinking, and like all that other stuff. So I'm sure your mind is gone. Your mind is ate up at that point. But I just think you have to keep a record of what are you doing in this game, because you have to believe that you're gonna be in those final seats, whatever. So you need to be able to, like, what is my story? What am I going to tell the jury when they like the questions? You don't know what they're gonna ask, but when it comes down to overall explaining your game, when you get that final speech, which they didn't get no final speech.
No, I was feeling like
they didn't.
Yeah, that was missing.
They're probably like, man, let's gonna wrap this shit up. That's what it sounded like. They was ready to go home too.
Season's over, 45 starting tonight. Let's just.
So I don't like that, because the final speech could have did something. Whatever you lacked in questions, you could have made up for it. Because even if you didn't answer a question well, you can always be like, after you get to thinking like, oh, I should have said this. When you get that final speech, it's like, oh, let me add this on in here real quick, and I would be like, just to address what I mentioned earlier, X, Y, and Z in your final speech. So I'm mad that they robbed us of seeing that if they had it. And if they didn't give it to them at all, they wrong for that, because you should get a final plea.
It makes sense, because the overall season, it really gave. Like, there might have been like an episode or two where it wasn't as interesting, but overall, the actual season was entertaining. So it makes sense for a CBS show to be really, really entertaining and to end like crap.
It wasn't necessarily crap.
I don't want to say it was crap, but
it was lackluster.
It was lackluster.
It was lackluster because it's a Yam Yam win, and it's like, we're not mad at a Yam Yam win.
Which I'm not mad at a Yam Yam win, but yeah.
It didn't hit the way I would want it to hit.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, congratulations. It's kind of like when you at the store, right? And you go to the car and you see some money on the floor and you think it's $100, but it's really $1. You're like, oh, cool, $1. Dang, that's what his wins are like. Yes. You find $100, you be like, hey,
we up.
That is exactly how I feel about the finale.
Yeah.
Like, oh, a dub, but it's a small one.
Agreed. And to the haters, that already started. So we wrapped it up. Yam Yam won. They're saying, hold on, let me say this. Heidi did receive a vote from Danny alone. So Carolyn, surprisingly, was the 0 vote finalist.
I was very surprised. I was very surprised.
I don't think any of us saw that coming.
I done told y'all Heidi was a clear second place winner. Second place.
I wouldn't say it was clear.
One vote.
Look, there's always
clear
that one
as can be.
Look, I was talking to Eli about this. The modern era is the 7-1 vote. Like
apparently,
every final tribal council since 41 has been 7-1.
Mm-hmm. Who voted for Xander?
Nobody.
Evie. Oh, he didn't get no votes.
No,
right.
I mean, I'm sorry. Who got the vote? Oh,
Deshaun.
Deshaun got one vote. Okay, that's right. That's what I mean. Okay.
And then
shout out to Deshaun, man.
And then, oh boy, I can't remember who voted for old girl last season.
Who? Oh, James
Kathy.
did.
Yeah, James. Yeah, he voted for Cassidy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, he sure did. But yeah,
child, they still crying about that Gabler when it was clear he was gonna win from jump.
Right. So that was surprising to see Carolyn be the 0 vote finalist. Very shocking, but that was probably the bigger shock factor than Jam Jam winning anyway.
Yeah. And ultimately, I guess you're probably gonna get to it, but I blame Carolyn. There's no one else to blame for her being a 0 vote finalist.
Because they said they threw her lobs. Carson threw her so many lobs.
So many
Brandy threw her lobs.
Yeah.
They threw them to
her. They said, here's the basket. I will
end.
hand you the ball right here. You just throw it in. And Carolyn said, I don't want to jump that high.
I had her up on the shoulders like, hey, Carolyn, just drop the ball in. And she was just like, hey.
And let's talk about how, listen. Shout out. I'm not funny with you.
She said, ah.
She be like, hey.
And couldn't make the shot. But Carson and Franny ran that jury. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
They ran the jury. And they
I
tried.
See Franny play again.
Yeah, okay. So since we talked about the champion win, who we want to see back from this cast?
Danny and his poncho.
No.
You always want to root for the racist.
And misogynist.
And the misogynist. All of them.
I thought, okay, you just made me think. Okay, I did tweet this. I thought Danny might have voted for Carolyn because she was like, Danny, I got you out, because they mentioned her using I don't Carson, and Jam Jam did try to throw shade at her, and she did correct. He was like, but you used your I don't Carson, and you didn't need to. He wasn't going nowhere. And she said, yes, I did, but I know I needed Carson, so I needed to ensure that he was still here. He was like, but you didn't know the Lauren and Jam.
You ain't trust me.
Yeah, you didn't trust me. She's like, no, but I didn't trust them, so I needed to make sure he was still here. And she said, Danny, you were an obstacle. You were running the game. You were calling the shot, so I needed to make sure that you were gone. I said, he jumped for joy inside. He was like, really? You thought I was running it? Oh, okay. He was jumping for joy. I said he probably gonna vote for her just because she gave him kudos for running the game.
That's it.
So I was really surprised, and so that was one more of the Carolyn that we wanted to see.
Yes,
I was like, okay, we needed more of that.
Stand up, Carolyn.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up. But she sat down. And so, who else we want to see back? Y'all know who I want to see back.
Lauren
and Carson and Franny. And Carolyn.
I don't want to see Lauren play again.
Let me get her out for the first time this season.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
Not in Survivor, honestly. No, I don't. I do like Lauren. I would like to see her. I feel like Lauren would be great at Big Brother. I feel like she would be amazing. Like I feel like she would dub Big Brother.
I think so too.
Oh, big time.
I feel like
Survivor, make the call.
I feel like she'd be a great recruit for the Challenge USA season 3.
Oh yes.
Ooh, you know what? She would dub that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she just did so well this season. We just didn't see enough. She literally was the only one that didn't have no votes up until tonight. Cast against her. So, I
wouldn't mind seeing her play again, but
would Kane be
I would like
horrible
to see her
to
in
bring
other
back?
shows first. Kane, irrelevant.
Yeah, he didn't give anything that he
didn't give enough for me to want to see him do anything.
The episode he went home was the only time he really gave.
He gave to the door. Go home.
I think we cursed them because we cursed Brandon too. Because why did the episode we started to root for them? That's the same episode they went home.
It went right.
They're making the turn. It's time to root for them. Oh, they're gone.
Oh man.
I'm still on the Matthew train. I wouldn't hate to see Matthew back.
It happened.
Okay, he's only like him because of Franny.
Listen to me.
Oh, well, you talking about broken arm.
The broken arm one. Broken arm.
Nah, he doing stupid stuff.
Oh, heck no.
He done set Jamie up with a fake idol. He did that. He had his own idol who was somewhat running the game over on that tribe. Like, he wasn't going nowhere.
Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll invite dumbass Matthew back because he was just doing some stupid stuff.
I don't know. I feel like he would have been too with Danny too much. I didn't want the white man alliance to form. That's why I was glad he left.
It would have definitely formed.
So it wasn't too bad that he left, but I don't know. But Carson definitely needs to get a call back for sure. I would like to see him and Jesse and Carla and Mike, all like these different people, Shan and that man, Ricard to say these people, these new era strategists and masterminds.
Ricard get on my nerves, but I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't mind seeing him play again.
With all of these strategists in my masterminds in one season, boy,
I'm telling you, I feel like after these next 2 seasons, 45 and 46, we need to have another public vote for like second chances number 2.
I want to see an all villain season. Bring back everybody that everybody hate.
But here's the thing. Wait, before we go,
that played very well.
I don't know if we've had that many necessarily like villains lately.
Jesse was a villain,
or people that are hated. But no, because then there might be.
Don't do that.
On your term of hate.
Why are you hated? Is it because you racist or
if you
homophobic or all this other stuff?
We don't want you to come on. Yeah, that's true.
If you hate it because you played the game, you slash them throats and
I'm cool
drinking their blood. That's fine.
Not drinking the blood, not true blood.
What if they did an old masterminds versus the new mastermind, like strategists?
Ooh, I like that.
Old school, like the old school strategy. You know, the people that was running the games in the old school versus these new school strategists / masterminds. I would love to see it.
I like that. I think if they did that after 45 and 46, so we can have to increase the talent pool of the new generation, I'll be here for it.
Because that would be awesome. Because everybody a gamer. So you ain't gotta be like, oh, this person are they a gamer? Like going in. You a gamer, we all gamers. So
anyone can go any week.
Anybody can go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's only 2 tribes.
Only 2 tribes.
Finally.
And they bring back they gotta bring back the auction. Have to.
But look.
So Jeff said
I was
were you gonna talk about that?
In the preview?
Oh no.
The preview was in the auction?
Well, I don't know. I saw the little gavel.
Ooh.
In the preview of 45.
Go back and watch that.
In the preview of him hitting the gavel. I put
the gavel was gaveling.
I was like, he ain't ever got a gavel in this show except for the auction. So my prediction is 45 bringing the auction back.
Okay, so real quick, he mentioned on the podcast, he was like, I can see wanting to bring the auction back. He said, but we took it away because everybody wanted to wait for the advantages, and if there's a way that we could do it and make people want to, it was like, okay, so take out the advantages.
Or just have it be hidden earlier.
Put it in the food.
Right. Or just make it secret. Like you don't know what you get till you get it.
Or like do it like everyone buys something, either it's public or it's private, you get to see what you got when you get back to camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So he was like, he's not against bringing it back. He's like, we just need to find a way to incorporate it that it's just not everybody waiting.
Like all you have to do is just do it.
He just didn't want because they mentioned everybody just saving their money instead of going for the actual other stuff. They would just save it all for the advantages. And he was like, he don't want that to happen again. Okay,
I'm putting the advantage in a PB&J sandwich that sells for like $20.
That's all you gotta do is mix it up. Okay, peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right.
Okay.
And you go pick up the peanut butter jelly sandwich instead of something written on the back.
Yes, that's what it should be. It should be no advantages at all. And then whatever you get, yes. And then and you don't even get your item until the auction's over.
Yeah, I think that's what Josh was saying.
Yeah,
yes, Josh, that's good.
Waiting back for you at the camp.
Yes, like you want to play the fruit, but up under that apple, it's an idol. Yep, that'd be dope.
Yep, exactly. I think that would be a good idea. So Jeff, if you're listening,
Jeff, we gotta tag Jeff in this clip. Jeff, you need more POC writers. And matter of fact, pay your writers.
Pay y'all writers.
There you go.
Pay the writers. But overall, I think this was a beautiful ending to a great season. I will say, Yam Yam, Jam Jam, congratulations on your win.
We not even saying his name right.
Oh, Jam Jam, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we heard Yam, and it's a song, so we have to stick with that for a minute.
Right. So I was going to say, this is finale. We can talk as long as we need to, but we're going to wrap it up in a little bit. Listeners and viewers, hang on.
No, a quick bit.
It was about how people were mad that he won. They were saying, it's disgusting that Carolyn was a 0 vote finalist. It's sexism. It's sexism. It's sexism that he didn't win. I mean, that she didn't get a vote. And Yam Yam did he really deserve? He should not have won all the stuff.
But there are women voting too. And
and Heidi got a vote.
And here's the thing about this though. If we know if there's going to be 2 Tika in final 3, we know that these votes are most likely going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
They're going to be competing for the same votes.
Yeah.
So like we've had it predicted one of them was going to be a 0 vote finalist. It's just that Yam Yam did his damn what the hell was that? Yam Yam did his damn thing in the challenge. That was weird. But he did his damn thing in the final 3 at the final tribal council, and he earned a vote.
Of course, he could have voted for Carolyn. He knew she wasn't gonna win.
Franny could have as well.
Franny could have too.
I think so whenever you pull out the this is disgusting. If Carolyn's overall game at the end, I mean, of course, we've seen her game because we're at home watching TV. But when she spoke to jury, she had her opportunity to convey them to vote for her. She did not.
Hello.
Nope.
Carolyn, if Carolyn got my vote that night, it was just because I liked her. That's it.
Yeah.
Because based on all of these answers and these questions, she wouldn't have got my vote either.
And then I say
my
too,
vote.
would y'all be saying this? Would y'all really have said it's sexism that she didn't get no votes if Heidi was a 0 finalist? No. Just say y'all biased. It's okay. I'm biased. I think Lauren should have won the game. Lauren.
I know. I think Carolyn should have won the game, but Carolyn should not have won the game. Carolyn lost the game. I think this was a true season where coming into Final Tribal, anyone could have won.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it was a very evil playing field.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I view Final Tribal Council more as a Carolyn loss than a Jam Jam win, which might be the slight awkward taste in my mouth on this.
Yes, there you go. That's it.
Yeah, she lost it. She just didn't convey her game. The decision
it was her game to lose.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's why it kind of feels lackluster to me. It's like, dang, Carolyn dropped the ball. I had hopes for her that she'd be able to go and articulate and postulate herself to go and get the dub.
Because she played a masterful game.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Incredible.
But the jury doesn't see confessionals.
I don't even know.
They see it now. I'm glad they get to go home.
She was.
I'm glad they get to see now, but I know they feel like, dang. We need to get them on here, somebody on here, because I need to know. After watching this season, would you have voted differently? Had you known what you knew now, would you have voted differently?
And that's exactly my thought. It's cool for them to do a quick little talk for 20, 30 minutes, whatever, after the vote is done. But I still want a legit reunion. I want everybody to go home and watch, bring us back in a week, 2 maybe. And I want to see what people are saying, because your answers and your thoughts are going to change once you see what really happened. So I'm curious to see, once the game played out and you saw everything, would your vote still be the same, knowing what you know now?
And I like to see everybody looking good. You dressed up.
And clean. And healthy.
Yeah.
And got a little fat in their cheeks.
Yeah, right. And it's sad because, from one part, the final 3 people, everyone else looking decent, they done shaved and showered.
Yeah, but you looking raggedy.
Y'all can't let them go and shower at least.
And the winner looking raggedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They be giving that raggedy pizza. A damn pizza.
But I will say,
some crab legs.
Although, I agree, I want the regular reunion back. But because they did this live, we got the whole jury's reaction to Jamie realizing that her idol that she was so worried about that left was Jamie. And that was such a great moment that we would not have had if they had a regular reunion.
And that's why my hand is right. That's what my name is. Jamie's raised hand, because Jeff said, who all found the idol? He set this up perfectly. And she just, like a school kid, it was me, Jeff. I found the idol. Higher than anybody else's hand.
It was wrong. Loud and wrong.
that her idol was Matt hid it and faked it and gave. She was pissed when she found out. She, you know, that little Arthur meme with the fist. I thought that was Jamie in her mind. When she found out that she got played with that idol.
Mm-hmm.
But to end it off, I think Jam Jam is a perfect example of manifesting and truly believing, because at the end of the day, he was like, Jeff, when y'all gave me that call, I went down the list of survivors all the way to season 44, and next to season 44, I wrote my name. I wrote Jam Jam on there. And if that's, I'm taking that. I'm writing my name down. What season we on it? Big Brother, season my name is, you know, as soon as I get the call for whatever season I'm on, I'm writing my name down, because
I know that's right.
You never like that type of belief and manifestation.
Manifest and win.
Or,
I got 25 letters in my name, so I'm gonna win BB 25.
I'm cracking up.
But yes, I'm gonna say yes. Of course I do.
ACKSON. Oh, I got 24. I lost. I missed my shot.
Okay, let me see. I got
4,
9. That's 13. 14, 15.
Oh,
16.
Look, my manifestation was going to be, before they pushed it back, I was going to enter the house. I was going to enter season 25 being 25 years old.
Hey, you never know. They do still got that casting out.
Look, because I'll be honest, I never submitted my video, but now they done pushed it back. I'm just like, God's trying to tell me something right now.
I'll get second.
You know what's up? I really think they did have the cast locked, but now that they pushed it back, they can't have the people that's gonna be on the show, I think, know for a whole month. I don't think they can like risk them knowing that long. So I do think they still looking.
Well, Survivor do it.
Maybe.
Because what's the name? He said he had to get them 30 pounds in 3 months. So,
but we don't knew about them early, don't we?
Yeah,
a lot of Survivor players leak. Big Brother is
because they're filmed. Because they're filmed. That's what I'm saying, though.
Because Survivor takes a lot more to go into. You got to go have all your vaccination. You got to do all your health checkups.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So that's why they have.
It takes a lot more to get into that,
right? As opposed to like, especially since you go into a whole other country.
Yeah.
As opposed to just coming.
Oh yeah, you gotta make sure you got your passport. Yeah, the right back. Yeah, all that.
I think they just ain't got the cat. Like Janelle tweeted, she was like, "Well, hopefully this is giving y'all more time to find an awesome cast." Right.
I hope it's all newbies.
Format and season.
Please be newbies. Don't bring nobody back.
All newbies. Leave the twists alone, because y'all don't do good. Let's just get back to bare bones. Back to the basics.
Bare bones. Battle of the Block.
I just do not know how to do twists.
No, Battle of the Block. That was horrible.
No, because every time I'm cool with Battle of the Block, but it's always the people that's battling for and win the block is nobody that I want to win the block. So I'm gonna say I don't like the battle nor the block.
Because I feel like really Battle of the Block is what encouraged. I know we're getting way off topic. Battle of the Block is what encouraged all the huge, large alliances that we still struggle to break away from.
Right.
The one and only time the Battle of the Block would have like worked in our favor is last season, when they had that little twist, and it would have been Taylor going against Alyssa, right?
Yeah.
Alyssa and Taylor clearly dominated that. I mean, Taylor clearly dominated that, and she would have won that. That would have been the one time, like, it would have worked out. It would have been like, yes!
Exactly. That part.
And, I mean, it didn't matter no ways, because, you know, they got rid of the twist.
But yeah, so...
Twists don't work out for us. They
Survivor.
don't.
Thank you for a great season. Survivor 44, you were amazing. We definitely needed that refresher because season 43 had us down in the dumps.
I don't even remember who won. Who won last? Oh, Gabler.
Good night. On that note, this is the official end of season 6 of You Are Gonna Be There podcast. Thank you, listeners and viewers, for sticking with us through this season. You are appreciated, whether you are in the US, whether you're in Canada, whether you are in Albania, Thailand, Zimbabwe, Jamaica, all of these places, like
London, Paris.
We appreciate you. Like, you never know. Like, we do appreciate you.
And it's been a struggle to get here every day, y'all.
It's been a struggle,
but we done made it.
We made it. And we couldn't have done it without you. We do it for y'all. We
really couldn't have done it without Josh and Eli coming to help us.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all so much. Because y'all
thank y'all so much for having us.
Y'all come in exactly when we needed y'all. And I cannot wait. And I really hope you guys will come back for next season.
Absolutely. And we got so many surprises ready for you in season 7. Go ahead, Josh.
I was gonna say y'all gonna be talking about me all y'all next season when I'm on Big Brother.
Okay.
Speak that. Speak it. Hallelujah. Shabbat.
Listen, I'm listen, we're here for it. If you on there, so be it. We're gonna be excited for you. Okay.
Well, let me run your socials. I like to cuss people out.
No,
that's what he wants.
All my socials. Y'all,
you can't not have socials.
You said you're not gonna have socials?
He's locking them up.
I'm locking them up.
So he don't get canceled.
Let me cuss everybody out for you.
No, let me do my. You know, I like cuss people out myself.
How you gonna do it in the house?
I'm gonna do it when I get out because you know I like that block bud pushing like 2,600 people block.
Oh, now my computer about to.
Josh gonna come out the house. I heard you was looking for me. Well, here I go. blockity block. I'm gonna have like 5,000 people.
I'll send you DMs on who to like charge. I'll be like, so and so was talking mess. So then when you get out, you can just read the DMs.
There you go.
Period. Like,
then you know who to check.
But yes, listeners, viewers, thank you for enjoying this time with us that we've had this season. Thank you for being here along for the ride. Please don't forget to give us a 5-star review. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Who All Gonna Be There podcast, and find us on Apple or Spotify, where if you listen to audio, give those 5-star ratings, and follow us on our social media at Twitter and on Instagram at Who All There, and turn on your post notifications because we're coming back. We coming back for season 7, bigger, better, and we're so excited to be back. So stay tuned. Until next time.
Have a great summer,
y'all.
bye.